Hi Zoe, I'm just at Bankstown Hospital. They've given me a corner to record my vlog. And I should mention that it's Heart Week this week, so please donate to the Heart Foundation. So the health issue that I have chosen is CVD, cardiovascular disease, which is the general term used to represent a number of cardiac diseases. Reasons for why I've chosen this is because the Australian Bureau of Statistics in 2012 stated that in 2008 and the years prior, there was no government funding allocated for the research in CVD and diabetes, and presently in 2016, CVD and diabetes are the two biggest killers in Australia. The health initiative that I have spent time with is the cardiac rehabilitation, which is conducted at Bankstown Lidcombe Hospital. The program runs for 16 weeks all year round. The program aims to aid patients who have had previous cardiac surgery or cardiac episodes by engaging them in physical activity and beneficial health lectures. The program goes beyond engagement as it attempts to teach, promote and instill healthier lifestyles. In regards to the funding, the cardiac rehabilitation program is government funded. So it starts off at a federal level, which allocates funding to the state government. Then the state government distributes funding to the hospitals. That's based on the patient flow. And then the hospital general manager will distribute the funding towards the department throughout the hospital based on the patient flow. And from there, the department's nursing unit, the manager of the nurses, then distributes the funding throughout the ward for stock, equipment and programs that they run. Donations for the cardiac rehabilitations are accepted, but no one donates, or it's very rare that they get a donation. The cardiac rehabilitation nurse stated to me that she has an initiative currently in place. Data and statistics of the patient flow over the past 2 years, 15 and 16, has been gathered and compiled to be sent off to the health minister in order to request an increase in funding and also make the funding direct to the cardiac rehabilitation ward. It'd be interesting to see if these initiatives actually take heed and go ahead with. So the targets to measure the success, the rehabilitation nurse stated that the success is measured when patients show an improvement in their nutrient. Their goals are reached through the exercise and record score sheet. The score sheet is the most active form of measuring success that is used by the rehabilitation nurse. It contains things like their heart rate, their blood pressure, their O2 stats, which is their oxygen saturation, the duration, intensity and the frequency of their physical activity and how often they move. The rehabilitation nurse also stated that from the 1st to 6th week, rehabilitation patients show no significant change in heart rate, blood pressure or O2 saturation. However, improvement is seen in the amount of exercise that can be maintained by the patients. So during weeks 1 and 2, continuous breaks are needed, but by weeks 3, 4, 5 and 6, patients usually show an increase in duration, intensity and frequency for the exercise that they perform. So therefore the tolerance for the exercise increases and it's more visible and obvious. And this is very important and significant because the Heart Foundation in 2012 stated that the main method of assessing progression and success in cardiac patients is via exercise output, which is the amount of exercise that can be maintained continuously. So the principles and the theories evident in the cardiac rehabilitation. Kelleher 2007 stated that 3 basic strategies of health promotion are advocate, enable and mediate. These 3 strategies are clearly evident within the cardiac rehabilitation program, which nurses provide through the use of principles such as health coaching and support, self-management, behavioural change, change to address risk factors, increase the knowledge, ownership and community, family, education and support. The cardiac rehabilitation program and nurses follow 5 principles outlined by Kelleher 2007 as they attempt to empower patients to make a change, engage in community participation and active community engagement as form of support, implement social change, identifying that negative dietary and physical activity behaviours have ill health factors and the opposite obviously has good health factors and good health effects. Implementation of procedures, guidelines and protocols to achieve outcomes through policy and development, and to instill accountability, as each patient is responsible for his or her actions that lead to their chronic disease. The recommendations for the program as a whole. Personally, I believe the cardiac rehabilitation program is understaffed, it lacks funding, lacks equipment. Another recommendation would be to expand the program so it's not limited to cardiovascular disease sufferers. From this also, it will raise more awareness and possibly generate more donors. So what did I do during the placement? I assisted with the rehab program, I motivated patients, I attained a greater knowledge of CVD and rehab, which was my number one aim because, like I said, a lot of family members suffer from this disease. I also took physiological measurements, so heart rate, blood pressure, and the oxygen saturations. I participated in the rehabilitation exercise program. I instructed the rehab program as well. So what do I think could be improved and how would I implement these improvements? Communication barriers is a big thing. So if possible, try to introduce interpreters, find other forms of communication, increase the patient health knowledge, research patients and the severity of their condition and apply exercises specific to the individual by looking through the patient's notes. Also increase the knowledge of CVD in general, attain a greater understanding of CVD, and specify exercises to patients that are relevant to their disease and to their condition to improve it. And also apply specific exercises to improve cardiovascular fitness and improve cardiac output and exercise tolerance. So that's pretty much all from me, Zoe. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And I did enjoy this experience with the rehab patients. Thank you.